Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and I'm really excited to show you some brand new items I'm putting up on the site right now. We're trying to get a bunch of product up for this holiday weekend, so we're going to try to add several things most days. And what I wanted to talk about today was reverse shell cordovan. And what I love about reverse shell cordovan is how nicely it polishes up just with normal use. And I took a piece of reverse black shell cordovan that you see here, and I've polished up just this little section on the top. And what I've done on the top here is expedited the patina process. This is what you're going to see eventually from how it wears in. For this piece, you can see the leather on the right here is much more filled in and polished in, as opposed to how it starts on the left. What I've done to expedite the patina on this particular piece of shell, I've taken some of the Saphir Cordovan cream and I've applied it onto the reverse side of the leather. Then I took a soft cloth and buffed it in. And then I let that Saphir Cordovan cream rest between coats. I did a very light coat of each and I gave it a nice brushing. So you can see just with a couple seconds here of polishing, you can see just more how filled in on the right here, how filled in this reverse side of the shell is compared to on the left. So you can see increased luster, much more smooth and shiny. It also has a little bit of a darker appearance. And this is something that will increase over time. Both the luster and color will develop with normal use. If you're not familiar with reverse shell cordovan, here's a really good example. If I take this piece of leather and flip it over, we can see the intended side of the leather here. This is black shell cordovan. This is that dense fiber membrane known as the shell on this side. And this side here with the shell is the side that the tannery has finished for. So what they've done on the shell side here is they've layered on several different stain coats, and then they applied a little bit of a polish and then glazed the leather. So you get that bright, shiny look that you're familiar with on the shell cordovan. And then they didn't do anything to the back. So what we end up with here is a bunch of random dye splatter, random color on the reverse side of the leather because they were not intending for this side to be used. For me, however, I really like how it wears in on wallets just because it gives you this really dramatic patina. So let's get to some of the wallets I've just put up on the website. The first one here, I think, is my stunner of the batch. We've got denim blue shell cordovan underneath some reverse blue shell cordovan on this card holder. And you can see the Horween shell cordovan ink stamp. We try to cut those into nice visible spots. So you'll see those on most of the wallets. On the inside of this wallet, we have more reverse blue shell cordovan. We also have a black spring bar money clip, which we felt paired very nicely with this reverse blue on blue. Up next, I've got a reverse color 8 on top of color number 8 shell cordovan. This is the classic shell cordovan color. And on the interior of this one, we have more reverse shell cordovan. And then this has an antique brass spring bar money clip. We have two more capones with reverse shell. This one is reverse cigar on top of cigar. And the cigar shell cordovan is much less red and burgundy when you compare it to the color 8 shell cordovan that we just looked at. Cigar is more of a straight up true brown shade. Here's a look at the inside of this one where we have more reverse cigar shell cordovan. And another capone here with some reverse on the outside. This is reverse natural on top of natural shell cordovan. Very nice patina potential on this one. The lighter shades of most leathers tend to develop a little bit more of a dramatic patina. Here's a look at the inside of this one where we have reverse natural shell cordovan. And I've got 4 more capones to show you. This first one here is something that I don't think I have seen in a very long time. We have whiskey shell cordovan on the outside of this capone money clip. When you compare whiskey shell cordovan to the natural shell cordovan, you will notice that the whiskey is a little bit more golden and yellow, and it's a little bit darker than the natural shell cordovan. It's also a very dynamic color, so as I spin this around, you'll notice a little bit more vibrance at this angle here, and a little bit of a less vibrant color at certain angles. Here's a look at the inside of this one where we have reverse whiskey shell cordovan. And here's one of my all-time favorite shell cordovan colors. This is color number 4 shell cordovan with a cream stitching on the capone money clip. Really love this medium brown shade with reddish undertones. And again, very dynamic color for the color 4. So I'm going to spin this one around for you. You can see it's a little bit darker at this angle. And as I spin it, it gets a little bit more red, a little bit more golden almost, a little bit more orange at this angle. And here's a look at the inside where we have more reverse shell cordovan with an antique brass money clip. And I have 2 more capones to look at. Both of these have very nicely matching stained edges, which is something we've been doing on some of the wallets that are the same color all over. So color number 4 shell cordovan here, absolute stunner. We matched the thread for the color 4 shell here, so it gives it a little bit more clean and consistent look to go along with those clean and consistent edges. We apply a little bit of a hand stain that matches the color 4 shell just about perfectly, I'd say. And here's a look at the inside. We have more color, number 4 shell Cordovan. And here's the last Capone that we're going to look at today. This is a fan favorite shell Cordovan color, cigar shell Cordovan. And again, the cigar shell Cordovan is very much a true brown shade, much less burgundy when you compare it to Color 8. Very beautiful piece of shell Cordovan here. And here's a look at the inside. We have more cigar shell Cordovan, as well as those matching cigar hand-stained edges. All right, let's move on to some Bugs Moran. This is our traditional card layout on the Bugs Moran. We have 2 card slots on each side, the larger card slot on each side. This will fit US dollars folded in half. It'll be completely concealed under there. On the outside, this is black shell Cordovan, and we get a good contrast of those hand-stained edges here. This has a natural waxed and burnished edge, so you get this framed out look along all the outside of the wallet. And on the inside of this Bugs Moran, we have more reverse black shell Cordovan. You noticed earlier in that polishing demo, the reverse side of the black shell Cordovan is a little bit more of this greenish shade, and it does have random dye marks, which I think makes each piece a little bit unique. And here's another Bugs Moran with our traditional card layout. This is just like the last one we looked at. However, this is color number 8 shell Cordovan. So you can see as I spin this around, some of these burgundy tones come out, and other angles, it's a little bit more of like a dark brown shade. But it's definitely got a really nice dynamic color range. This one also has the waxed and burnished edge, so it gives it that same framed out look that we just saw. The other thing I should have mentioned earlier about reverse shell Cordovan is it makes a perfect leather for the interior of a wallet. I find it to be much more easily filled in and polished in once this leather is inevitably scuffed and scratched from wearing it. When it's shell rubbing against shell on the inside of the wallet, sometimes those are a little bit harder to fill in, but on the reverse shell, it's much easier. All right, let's move into some vertical Bugs Moran. We've got 2 of them to show you today. I think we've got some more coming up later this week. Vertical Bugs Moran have been highly requested from you guys, and we're happy to accommodate you. Here's a look at this one. Cigar shell Cordovan on the exterior. And again, very nice piece of shell Cordovan here. Extremely bright and shiny, very, very smooth. This is exactly what you want to see in shell Cordovan. We have a matching brown stitching on the outside. And on the interior, we've got reverse cigar shell Cordovan with those vertical card slots. So there's actually 3 card slots on each side. 1, 2 on the left with a hidden large compartment underneath, and then 2 on the right with the same hidden compartment under there. And the last wallet of the day is 100% cigar shell Cordovan on a vertical Bugs Moran. Same exceptional piece of leather on the outside as well as on the inside. You have those vertical card slots, and it's a really, really clean look, especially when we apply those hand-stained cigar edges. I think really cleans up everything, makes it a little bit more formal looking. We do have a lot of people that also like those natural waxed and burnished edges, so we can do both ways. But on this particular vertical Bugs, this is how it's going to be. We can't take any customizations for the things that are on the site. You have to make to order. So if you wanted a natural waxed and burnished edge on a wallet like this, it would have to be made to order, because everything that you're seeing on the site is in stock and ready to ship. So we've got more stuff coming later this week. Stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss it. And then if you had any questions about reverse shell Cordovan, it's kind of hard to demonstrate very quickly of how this ages because I don't have a year to wear it and show you. But if you want to take a look at the Ashland Leather Patina Masters group on Facebook, there's a lot of people in there that have worn these leathers, and you can see sort of a potential future of how this leather might wear in and look. So thanks again for checking it out. Hope you have a great day and take care.